Retired Republican Senator Jeff Flake will vote for Biden over Trump and says GOP needs a sound defeat in the 2020 election. By the end of his first and only term as senator from 2013 to 2019, Mr. Flake had the worst relationship with Mr. Trump of any Senate Republican. This was because he openly and consistently denounced many of the president's controversial remarks and opposed a handful of his political and judicial appointments. Mr. Flake called on Mr. Trump to withdraw from the 2016 presidential race after the emergence of the tape, where Mr. Trump openly brags about sexually assaulting women. Mr. Trump was so enraged with Mr. Flake that his White House was recruiting GOP primary challengers against the senator in the summer of 2017. While many Republican senators who were critical of Mr. Trump early in the 2016 campaign, such as South Carolina's Lindsey Graham, Lindsey eventually fell in line with the president and has become some of his closest political allies. When Mr. Flake announced his retirement from the Senate in the fall of 2018, he delivered a scathing speech against the state of politics in Washington. This speech spared no one, not least of all his Republican colleagues, nor Mr. Trump. In February, more than 14,000 people flocked to the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix for one of the president's notoriously lively and raucous campaign rallies. In years past, many Arizona lawmakers were reticent about appearing on stage with Mr. Trump. That's no longer the case. In private conversations, many Republicans acknowledge they've submitted to a trade-off in which they publicly tolerate Mr. Trump's bombast and anti-institutionalism. All this in exchange for his signature on conservative policies, his nomination of conservative judges, and his enactment of tax and regulatory reform. That trade-off is not intended to last forever. I don't know anyone who thinks that this is the future of the party. This is a demographic cul-de-sac we're in if nothing else. Anger and resentment only go so far, you have to have a governing philosophy. I don't know of any of my colleagues who really believe this is it.